This dog was running wildly, with a rapidly cracking ice lake right behind him. The locals call the ice lake sound, the sound of splitting. It's an unpredictable danger. They could have easily taken a detour around this treacherous path, but to rescue the children in the town and rush the serum back urgently, Seppala chose to cross Norton Sound. The only one he could trust was his experienced lead dog, Togo. But he never expected that this time, the entire ice surface would crack apart. When they finally reached the opposite bank after countless hardships, they were trapped on a piece of ice due to the cracks. Unable to cross the eye in the nick of time, Seppala decided to take a desperate risk, still entrusting the lives of the entire team and the children's hope to Togo. Today, we bring you this highly rated movie Togo, adapted from a true story. The story takes place in Nome in 1925. That time, an epidemic called diphtheria broke out in Nome. Several children had already died unfortunately, and the diphtheria was still spreading. There was only one vaccine that could treat diphtheria at that time, but the nearest city where the vaccine was available was 1,084 kilometers away. The Baltic Sea wouldn't thaw until June, and there were no highways leading directly to Nome. There were no planes in Nome either. The only way to travel in winter was by dog-sled team. Later, 20 mushers and 150 sled dogs traveled day and night, crossing rivers and forests. Under normal circumstances, it would take 25 days, but they completed the relay in only 5.5 days, saving the lives of many children. Among them, 19 mushers ran an average of about 50 kilometers, while Seppala alone ran 425 kilometers. Togo was Seppala's lead dog. In a 2011 report by Time magazine, Togo was hailed as the most heroic animal of the 20th century. But why 2011? Because the final leg of the serum relay was completed by musher Gunnar Kazan and his sled dog Balto. After that, Balto became famous across the country, a beloved hero. 10 months after the serum delivery, a statue of Balto was erected in New York's Central Park. Meanwhile, Seppala and Togo, who deserved the most credit, remained unknown for a long time. Let's go back to the beginning of the story. More than a decade before the serum relay, Seppala's wife found an injured stray dog. Her husband, an experienced dog trainer, immediately told her to throw it away and let it fend for itself. It was the wrong breed, too small, and didn't seem very smart, completely unsuitable for training as a sled dog. He told his wife that nature never sympathizes with the weak. His kind-hearted wife insisted on keeping the stray dog, but this dog was anything but trouble-free. Seppala didn't put him in a cage because he couldn't be contained at all. He spent more time breaking out of the cage than working every day. This mongrel dog gave the experienced trainer a headache. Seppala always reminded his wife that they were not pets, not friends, and certainly not children. Against his wife's objections, Seppala gave Togo away that day. Togo was locked in a small cage, becoming someone else's dog just like that. A few days later, Seppala and his wife were working on the roof when the same carriage that had taken Togo returned. Their friend looked relieved to bring Togo back. Nina's face lit up with a smile. Like the other dogs, Togo was locked in a cage by Seppala. The difference was that stones had to be piled around the cage. This dog was too good at escaping. Seppala then took out his gear and led some of his favorite purebred dogs to start training. But Togo wasn't idle. As soon as his owner left, he started digging. The purebred dogs next door watched with great amusement. If one hole didn't work, dig another. The neighbors even started learning from this escape artist, but they got tired soon after. Meanwhile, Togo had dug more than a dozen holes in his cage. Finally, through relentless effort, Togo disappeared from the cage. A few seconds later, he stuck his head out from outside the cage. Togo had escaped successfully. Once free, he ran straight to his owner Seppala, who had underestimated him. Seppala was training his sled team. He was a professional at this, but he never expected Togo's small figure to rush into the sled team, disrupting the formation, then run to the side to show off to his owner. Seppala was furious but helpless against Togo. Suddenly, a herd of deer appeared in the distance. Once again, led by Togo, the entire sled team chased after the deer. Eventually, the deer rushed into the river. The sudden swerve of the sled team threw the sled and musher into the lake. After climbing out, Seppala looked at Togo angrily, but more than that, he felt powerless. His wife watched him curiously as he installed sturdy locks on the outside of the warehouse, not to lock someone up, but to lock him up, the mongrel dog she had found.
Your dog who disrupts my team. Your dog who jumps on me no matter how many knees I put to his chest. Your dog who violates the rules of the pack and upsets the hierarchy I've worked years to establish.
Togo was playing with a piece of wood in his mouth.
Was that a piece of our house?
That day, instead of being in the kennel, Togo was locked alone in a closed warehouse. This way, Seppala's life wouldn't be disrupted, and he could train his sled dogs in peace. For Togo, though, this was just a game of escape room. He looked around and finally spotted the exit, then began figuring out his escape route. His small size did pose some challenges, but after several twists and turns, he found a way in. He squeezed through a cabinet door, emerging on the first floor, then the second, then the third. He smashed through all obstacles in his path. Nina roughly heard the crackling sounds coming from the warehouse. Togo climbed up to the warehouse rafters, finally reaching the exit and popping his head out.
Well, good afternoon.
Togo had escaped again.
Good luck, little one.
Once free, Togo still went to find Seppala.
Hey! Stop that!
Determined to get rid of Togo once and for all, Seppala drove a carriage and took Togo dozens of kilometers away. He comforted his wife all the way, telling her that Togo was just a trouble, and this would be his new home. The new owner was delighted with the mischievous Togo, and he hoped Togo wouldn't hear wolves howling around the house. The two left, with Nina feeling very unhappy without Togo. The house felt empty and lost its joy. The new owner locked all the doors and sat there waiting for Togo to give up. He waited for a long time. Without Togo, Seppala could finally train his sled team in peace. Togo finally stopped trying to find an exit, and the mistress prepared a delicious steak for him. But just then, he fixed his eyes on a piece of clear glass, then backed up and accelerated. Seppala continued training his sled team. As he passed through a gravelly area, he suddenly thought he saw something. No, it wasn't an illusion. It was him, Togo. He had run all the way back from dozens of kilometers away.